everyone, this is Sam and welcome to my Monster Hunter Rise weapons tutorial. Today I'll be showing you guys some basic and advanced moves in regards to the Charge Blade, which is one of the most hard-hitting weapons in the game with its strongest combo. So when you get everything down, this is truly an incredible two-way weapon because you have one of the best counter Sylvan skills in the game, and you'll be able to, from that, chain into one of the hardest hitting combos. As long as you know how to manage the Charge Blade and all of its elements in detail, you're gonna be devastating, as you see in this clip and sequence where I was able to do 1500 damage easily. So if you would like to see other weapon tutorials from me, you can also click on the card above or the link in the description below for my playlist on every weapon and monster in Monster Hunter Rise. Also, you can add my friend code here so we can play on the Switch together, and make sure to subscribe for more MHR content all year long. So in regards to the Charge Blade, your main goal is to consistently keep your shield boosted so you can release a 5 files ultra discharge with your axe. That is something you have to do consistently to lead to the most successful kind of gameplay. But obviously, I'll break it down into detail to how you can do this efficiently, and you can see just one of that combo alone did 537 damage in a very short span of time. So, if you look into your HUD, you're going to have these empty files to begin with, and your first goal is to fill the borders of these files. And as you fill them, it will go up from nothing to yellow, and then into red, and all the way into pink, but red is where you want to be. So once you're in the red, you can actually load up the files, and then you'll fill all of those bottles you see right there, and all 5 are filled with white. And from here, you're gonna get these loaded files to your shield. The blue symbol is the shield. You want to load the files into the shield, so the shield becomes this kind of hot pink, and then you want to reload the file, so now you have a charged shield and 5 full files. And when you get to this point, you can unleash hell, and you will see this Ultra Elemental Discharge, which is only available if your files are charged and your shield is charged. So, to charge your files, option 1 is to use A charge attacks to fill the file borders. So if you pay attention here, the file borders are unfilled, so you can watch me fill them up here. So you hold A until you get a flash, and then you let go of A, which is going to give you a sword double slash attack. And this attack is going to charge your file up from nothing to yellow, and then from yellow to red, and then red all the way to pink. You don't want to continue once you get to pink. Once you get to pink or red, you want to hold CR and A, and that will turn your charge file borders into filling up your files with white, which is what I did here. And after CR and A and your files are filled, plus your shield is filled like that, you can actually go X and A twice, and that will release your Ultra Elemental Discharge. But obviously, your question is, well then how do I fill my shield? So we have learned how to fill the files. So if your files are filled but your shield isn't, you're going to use charge attacks to fill the file borders, and then you're going to go CRNA, XNA, XNA, which is going to put you into this animation right here. And then when you get to this animation, you're going to tap CR. So that's going to put all of your charge files, your filled up files, the white ones, into your shield, which charges the shield. And then from this point on, you just have to recharge the files, refill them, and then you can good to go. So your Ultra 5 file discharge can only be unleashed when you see up there with the 5 white filled files and the charge shield. But you have to understand that this Ultra Discharge actually has 4 points of impact, and if you do it right, you can actually get 8 hits out of it, and you can do it wrong, you can get 0. So here are the 4 points of impact. There's the initial one right there as you swing your discharge forward, and then after you're going to swing it really high, so it's got a high point of impact up top, and then just below it's got another point, so that's 3 points of impact. And as the axe hits the ground, that's the final point of impact where you can unleash your files. So altogether, it should be 8 hits. So you need to create the ideal distance to unleash the Ultra Discharge. You can't just build up your files, charge up your shield, build up your files again, and just randomly do a discharge and hope you get the maximum damage. You can't. You can see me here, I'm building up my borders all the way to red, and then I'm actually going to roll away. And then I'm going to hold CRNA to charge up my files. My shield's already charged in this instance, so I'm going to go XNA and XNA. The first XNA gives me the shield thrust, and then the second XNA puts me into the Ultra Discharge, and I'm just gonna not tap CR because my shield already charged. I'm just gonna let go, and you can see I was able to get majority of the points of impacts right there. I got the high point, the second high point, and the ground point. So that's all the hits I need. To make the most use out of this weapon, you need to accept it's okay to use empty hits to set up the Ultra Discharge. So if you need to go with your X Sword Swing into your Shield Thrust, so here I went X plus A, and then X plus A to do the discharge. But the first 2 hits, I'm just doing it to get closer to the enemy, and then I'm gonna unleash the discharge. So I kept myself in a decent distance, and then did the first 2 hits to hit nothing. But then I got the distance just right, so my discharge was able to get those top 2 hits, and then order the 5 files release. So option 2 to load up your files, you actually have another one, is if you go CL plus A. This is a Silk Band skill that is going to instantly load up 5 files if you can counter against an enemy attack. It's called Counter Peak Performance, and you can see I've activated there. It's got about a 2-second window, so I got hit within that window, then it's going to immediately charge up my files, and if I click X and A right after I counter an attack, I'm going to go into discharge immediately with the 5 files filled, so that's devastating. Like, the CL plus A is only going to cost you 1 wire buck, but it is the best raw counter in the game. So against a raw, I'm going to go CL plus A, counter peak performance, it worked, charge up my files, and then right after I hold X and A, immediately go into discharge without doing any of the other hits that I need. Normally you need to do 2 hits to get to the discharge. Now it's just nothing, it's straight to it right after the counter peak performance, and I got every hit in there. So CL plus A, if you don't do the X and A, you can actually hold X afterward if you counter an attack. If you hold X, because in this instance, I'm not in good position to do the discharge, right? So I don't do the Ultra Discharge, but what I end up doing is I swing my sword forward, I hit the enemy there, barely any damage, but I charged my sword in this instance. And once your sword is charged, you can actually hit anywhere on the monster and it will just penetrate. And here I went X plus A, and X plus A with the charged sword. So there's the Shield Thrust, which goes right into the Ultra Discharge. I didn't get a lot of hits in there, but that's a good sequence. So all together, it will look like this. So here I charge my shield first because it wasn't charged. And then I do a counter peak performance to charge all of my files, and then right into the Ultra Discharge because I was at a good angle, got all 8 hits in. And then I'm going to go back up, do my charge attacks, 2 in a row, to go from yellow field to red field, back up, CR plus A, X plus A, X plus A, good angle, straight down the monster, get every hit in, all 8 with all 5 files released. So you gotta develop a habit to get at least 7 out of 8 on the Ultra Discharge hits in. As you swing your X, if you don't get that first one, it's not the end of the world because that's a light hit. Like right here, X plus A, that's a light hit, but I gotta get the rest of these 7 in, because those are gonna end up being huge damage. And also you can use Phase Slash, which is a left stick in any direction, the direction you want to go, plus A, to reposition during combos. So out of any moves you do, if right after the move you hold L and A, you're going to do this Phase Slash you see right here. You're not going to do it out of a Ultra Elemental Discharge, but you would do it out of any regular hitting moves, like you see like a double slash or just a regular X hit. And in regards to switch skills, these are the ones I used here. So they're the more effective basic ones, but they're effective. And this brings us to the end of the tutorial. So this is a very basic and very little advanced video with the charge play. I'm going to go into detail more later, but make sure you get this down first. That's where you're going to find success. So as always, if you got any questions, leave it in the comment section. Thanks for coming by, and I'll speak to all of you guys again very soon.